So, of course, your character comes back in a very interesting position. She's left a career and a person she left behind, and she's not quite sure how to resume her current life.
Right.
So, kind of maybe foreshadow a little bit of what turmoil she's going through when she comes back.
Yeah, so she kind of comes back a bit of a mess. You know, she's lost essentially everything. She's lost her home, she's lost her job, she's lost her fiance, she's lost her mom. And so we see her start to figure out how to pick up the pieces while also, you know, kind of being weighed down by what actually happened to them. So we get to see Ben, Michaela, and all the other passengers try to pick up where they left off in a very different way. You know, she's got a lot to deal with. She has to face Jared because he's, you know, they still kind of do work in the same vein. She has to come to grips with the fact that her mom is no longer, you know, putting relationships back together that were falling apart before, and dealing with, you know, the big thing that she went through before. So yeah.
Well, specifically her career as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't necessarily just take 75-year leave of absence
and jump back in.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that they really like that in the police force when you've been out of practice. The funny thing is, though, she's not out of practice. Like she had 4 days off in her, or not even a day off in her head. So yeah, we get to see a bit of how that kind of is reintroduced a little bit. So, yeah.
She also has some sort of disaster that is hinted about in before all of these events happen.
Yes.
Are we going to learn more about that?
We do. So I think I'm not ruining anything by saying she got in a car accident in the first episode. We hear about it with her best friend, and the best friend ended up dying. So she has to kind of come to grips with the responsibility of being the one driving. So yeah, that's the big thing that she's dealing with. So yeah.
Well, she also has this new element to her life, not only the time lapse that has occurred, but also she's hearing things.
Yes.
And that's a significant component to it.
Oh no, you guys don't hear things in your head? I mean, pretty normal. Yeah, so they've kind of come back with this, I'm going to call it superpower. It's not a superpower, but with this ability, and they don't know if they want it. They don't know if it's good. They don't know if it's bad. They don't know what it's for. And I think that's kind of the whole mystery of part of the show is, what is this voice? Where did it come from? And is it just them? Is it everyone? Yeah.
Your own voice that you're hearing, so it doesn't.
Yeah, and it's not even always going to be voices as well. It's just kind of this thing that we feel or sense or hear or see, and we have no idea why or where it's coming from. So I think that'll be, I don't even know actually, so it's kind of interesting to think, like, it could be bad. It could be this, you know, leading us all into our own deaths. We have no idea. So I'm excited to kind of figure that out.
Can you talk about what you did to prepare to get yourself into your character's headspace?
Well, I was going to make a joke, but then I realized this could all go south. Yeah, I mean, Jeff has done a really good job of writing characters that everyone can relate to. So as far as preparing for the role, I think it was just about, you know, figuring out how you would feel if you were thrust into that. You can't really figure out how you'd feel if you came back 5 years later and the whole world had changed, but I think I'm answering this question horribly, but it's just figuring out how you would feel if you got a second chance with certain people in your life, people that you've made mistakes with, and how you would feel if you got to go back and, you know, have a second chance with them. So.
Well, there's obviously a lot of passengers on this plane that have all been affected the same way.
Yeah.
So whose other lives does your character feel like kind of start to intertwine with a little bit more?
Well, I mean, we kind of meet Sandy, she's the doctor up the top, and we see a lot more of her as she treats Cal, Ben's son. So we get to see a lot of her, but the nice part about the show is there's 191 people on this plane, so obviously over the course of the show we'll get to delve into every single one of them, hopefully every single one of their lives, and meet different passengers. And already by episode 2 we've met a couple more, so it's kind of nice.
So by the end of the first episode, you can already tell tell that this is such a compelling mythology, and it's
Yeah.
really exciting to
Yeah.
sort of speculate about how it will unfold. Can you talk a little bit about what attracted you to the project?
I mean, what attracted me was that the writing and the storyline was something that I hadn't seen before. I'm sure it's, there's bits and pieces of other shows like Lost, and but I personally hadn't read a script like this. So the writing on it was just so genuine that it kind of blew me away. That's what I liked.
It's a page turner.
A little bit. And it doesn't stop either. So like episode 2, which is what we're working on right now, we're still like gasping by the end of the episode and, shocked by what's happening. So it doesn't stop.
Well, it also feels like they're kind of tapping into the superhero element. These people have an ability and they can affect people's lives in interesting ways.
Yeah.
So that's going to be kind of fun as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that's kind of what I was going back to too as well with, like, we don't know if it's good or bad. So we don't know if they're good superheroes or bad superheroes. Like, could go either way. Yeah.
Would you be excited for the audience to be anticipating as the show goes on?
I mean, the mystery aspect is really going to bring people in, but I'm really excited to have the audience meet all of the other characters. But what I like about the show is the different relationships that are happening and how genuine and yet complicated they all are. So I'm really excited for the audience to get to know everyone a lot too.
Do you think she's going to get closer to her brother, or is this going to drive a wedge between them?
Yeah, I mean, they were never not close, but they're very different people. And so obviously this event will bring them closer together, but I'm sure they will butt heads along the way of how they're approaching it, because Michaela's she has become a little bit more spiritual with how she's approaching it, and Ben's very scientific, so they're going to look at it completely differently, which is nice, and I'm sure all the other different passengers are going to look at it from their perspective as well. Yeah.